Okay, so welcome back to another episode of Straight to the Point and this kind of documenting the journey type series that I've been doing on it. In this one, I want to kind of give you an update over the last 2 weeks, what we've been working on, mainly the month of July, going through some of the surprises and the challenges that we experienced throughout that month. What we're focusing on in August, because it's really important, some of the elements, if you are also in a similar position to us, where we are looking at growing quite quickly, and then how we are setting ourselves up for selling season. So to give you context, we're very much in summer season right now, so everyone's away on holiday. July, August, beginning of September tends to be the quieter months inside of business in general, to be fair, but definitely in social media marketing. Now, as we then enter the end of September, October, November, December, it's when businesses start to wake up again, and you really need to make sure you're ready to be able to take advantage of that. And we look to use July and August as the months to kind of evaluate the first half of the year, what's gone well, what hasn't gone so well, and set ourselves up for what we know as H2, the second half of the year, and then planning also for 2023 in the first half of that year as well. So where I want to start with all of this is July. July was the worst month we've ever had in business for new order intake. Now, it wasn't a massive surprise purely because I had 2 weeks off at the beginning of July, and my other two business partners did as well. Nick and Sam were both away at that time as well. So when it comes to like lead generation and pipeline activity and business development, the three key people that are at the front end were away. So it automatically meant that we lost 2 weeks of that month. Now, it was okay. Like, I had my birthday and I had my girlfriend's birthday as well. We did a little bit of traveling, which was quite cool. I say travelling, we went on a road trip around the UK, we did Cornwall for a week and we absolutely loved it. It was awesome. Now, that meant that the trying to catch up for that last couple of weeks, even if we tried to accelerate and tried to push sales, we wouldn't really have seen that big of a difference. So what we did was at the beginning of July, or just before we went on holiday, the end of June, we took a bit of a group decision to not focus on new order intake for that month and instead utilize the time to have a think and to look at our whole product suite with what we're doing and identify ways to be able to improve it. Now, that's something that I'm going to be talking to you a lot more about in further updates with how we're doing this. I want to implement those changes first. Currently, they're just in my head and they're theory. We're very much trying to drag that out and productizing everything that we're doing at the moment. And recording this, it's the 9th of August. For the rest of August to pull it out, get it built and get it done, ready for September so we can really accelerate and take advantage of what's to come. Now, the back end of July, wasn't that we didn't make any new orders, we did generate sales and it was done off the back of a couple of workshops. And that's the second thing that I want to focus on and talk to you about, because our sales strategy over the last 6 to 9 months, quite heavily and quite strongly, has been workshop focused and Loom video focused. So what we're looking to do as a company is demonstrate how much value we're giving. So again, if you're in this position right now and you're building a business, take a moment to like sit sometimes and reflect on where your strengths lie as a business owner, but also as a business as a whole. Like, what is it that you really do deliver and what value you provide? And then identify ways that you can start to showcase that in your marketing. So the two ways in which we do that are with content like this, actually being very open and transparent with what we're doing. 2 then is via the workshops that we run. So we run free masterclasses normally once every 2 weeks, if not once every 3 as a minimum. And then we also do a Loom video strategy. So there are 2 ways in which we look to really gain clients. Now, I will share screenshots of like our process and also the results of these workshops recently, because most people think we get huge numbers to these. We don't. The process is so simple, and I don't know why more people don't do it. It's something that we train quite heavily inside our social selling academy, of which is known, but it's very much like marketing 101, sales 101, and combining them together in the online world. That's what it's about. And to give you like the results of our latest workshop to talk you through that process, because it actually is incredible. I ran one on the 27th or 28th of July. I can't remember the exact date. Now, we run LinkedIn events and we promote via LinkedIn events as one way. The second way that we get people to register for that free workshop, which we run on Zoom, is via our email list, the thing that we've been growing for the last 3.5 years and something that everybody should have. To give you the context to it, we get between 60 and 70% of our sign-ups to those workshops off of our email list. The other comes from the LinkedIn events, my LinkedIn profile, Instagram, YouTube, where you're watching this, Facebook, all of my other social channels. So the content that I'm creating and the brand that I'm building on these other channels contributes to 40% maximum currently of the people that attend workshops. Now on those workshops, I'll do a more in-depth video on them for you, so you can, there's actually versions of these workshops on my channel. You can go and see them. There's lots and lots of information in them. We put out loads and loads of value, in inverted commas, right? Like, we can only give so much in an hour, but we give lots and lots of content out for people to kind of get a taster of what we're about as a company. Now, you may not have a workshop that you can run currently, but if you're a service-based business, we're yet to find something where workshops don't work, right? So you can run them online, you deliver for an hour, and then you introduce how people can work with you at the end. That's literally it. To give you the data behind these, it is insane, right? So we got, I think, 140 people on the LinkedIn event to say yes to coming. Now, we ended up getting around 90 people registered. It was actually 113 at the end of it after the event had started. But like, before I started the event, there was 97 people. It finished with 113. And off the back of that, we had our best converting workshop, which converted around about 26%. I say around, it was just over 25%, I'm rounding up. That generated us over 13 new clients, which is pretty decent for an hour and a half's work with some promotion at the front end, which is actually automated and built out now. So what I want to really emphasize here for you is how simple client acquisition is when you have a process that works for you. So that webinar process is something, if you go and check out my business partner, Sam Rathling's LinkedIn profile, I'll link it in the description for you. She did a post which shared our whole workshop process and how LinkedIn plays its part, how other social media channels play their part. When you have that working with you with all the right pieces put together, it is an extremely powerful way of being able to generate clients. So workshops, if you're not currently running them, that was just one. I've ran one every 2 to 3 weeks for the last 6 to 7 months, and it has added just shy of 200 people into our business, 200 new customers, whether that is an agency customer, whether that is an education-based customer, or that is a corporate training client. That's a lot. And it's been one of the main reasons why we've been able to scale, because I've focused solely on building out that process and nailing it to a point where it really shows off like what we're about as a company. And if you don't have that process currently and you're struggling for clients, or at least consistent clients, then I definitely look at workshops as a way of being able to do that. And it kind of really summarizes why July was quite quiet for us, really, because I didn't run any workshops in the first 3 weeks of July. I ran 2 at the end, which actually meant we had a very strong start to August rather than a strong end to July. So August, we have had the best start to a month so far this year, off the back of 2 workshops being ran quite close together. And we've also got our next one not at capacity. We're about 50% of capacity, but it will be at capacity by the time that we run it, which is actually in 2 days' time. So the next lot of promotion will fill that, and again, that will give us an extra probably 5 to 10 clients as we're looking at this. So we're able to predict where we're going to end up month on month. I knew exactly where we were going to end up in July. We had a surprised order come through, to be fair, but I knew we were going to have the quietest month ever. I knew it was going to be the case. And I know that August won't be our best month ever, but it's probably going to come like 4th or 3rd. Head back down at the end of September, really focusing in, okay? So where that time goes in terms of promotion is really important. So if you're currently like posting loads of content right now and you're not seeing leads, if you are direct messaging and outreaching loads of customers or potential customers right now and not seeing any traction, just take a moment to like sit back and look at your process and map out your customer journey. It will give you the foundations for everything in terms of how you can grow, just like we're going to, throughout the major selling part of the year, which for us is September, October, November, December, like I mentioned. Now, moving into like the final part where I want to spend a bit more time is, if we've not been focusing in on selling for July and August, where has that time been spent and why is it so important? This bit for me is something that everyone should listen to and everyone should think about as they're hitting, to be fair, even like the £10,000 a month figure, even like the £6,000-7,000 a month figure. And it's the bit that I think a lot of people gloss over, especially in service-based businesses and especially in like expert world consulting based businesses, because this is something that I did and it isn't scalable. And that thing is building the business around like the stuff that's in your head. It's the biggest challenge. It's the thing that I've struggled with the most. And it's the thing that's taking me like every single day right now since the beginning of July, since I went away on holiday where I started thinking about it, through to the 9th of August where I'm recording this, to really get right. If there is anything that I could recommend that you do is, once you've got over the fact of like making your first sale and generating your first bit of money online and doing it for a couple of months, start immediately thinking about how you can start to run this whole show without you being a part of it. I've pigeonholed myself in certain elements of our company where it needs me in it, otherwise it doesn't work, and that is not something that we can sustain for much longer. So what I'm doing at the moment is productizing our service. It's something that I actually help lots and lots of other people do, but like you probably realize sometimes yourself, it's actually difficult sometimes to take your own advice. You need other people to look at it. And I've been looking at our whole product suite with what we've been doing and finding ways of being able to, I'm always like reluctant to use the word guarantee, but guarantee results if they follow what we do. The roadmaps that we're building for marketing and sales processes in the online world, in the digital world, is something that in certain sectors and industries we have like totally nailed now. And it's taken me hours to try and drag this out of my head and almost put it into like a process manual. It's boring. It's not something that's particularly fun. However, it's the thing that the earlier you do it, the easier it becomes to grow at speed, which I know growing at speed is normally language that you probably don't expect to hear from someone that's all about sustainable growth normally, but September, October, November, December, it's going to be extremely busy, it's going to be extremely active, and if this stuff isn't done, we're going to fail. I know we are. And so I've sacrificed August. I have stacked it heavily at the front end to make sure that we have enough orders coming through. We have a lot of like monthly recurring revenue, contracted revenue, and we're going to continue delivering those services. We're protected in that front because of the way that the business is built. The foundations are there to allow us the time to not focus too much on business development whilst other people are away on holiday. Actually, I think it's counterproductive to do that. And instead to focus the time on just getting the product built in a way where actually it doesn't need Chris Taylor's involvement to get it to work. The product does what it's meant to do. It meets the expectation that we're selling, and the roadmaps lead people to a place where they're going to get guaranteed results. And if they don't, then the product isn't working to the way it needs to be, and then we have to pick up and deal with it. There is such a big thing in this marketing world around like free consulting, and I don't like talking about this publicly normally, but I think it's only fair to. When you are in consulting-based businesses, when you are in service-based businesses, it is natural for you to get drawn into things and delivering things that you don't promise at the beginning. And then the expectations are set that you're just going to carry on doing them. And it is an endless rabbit hole that you can end up falling down. And I'm adamant to myself that I'm not going to do it this time round. And I'm going to make sure that the product delivers what it's meant to do. so we can continue to grow, not just the suite of tools that we're building, but also the team, because they are doing amazingly well right now. We're not a huge team, we're still a small team, but with remote working challenges, with all of that stuff that's going, we are nailing it right now in terms of like managing all of our clients, driving forward like the campaign approach that we're looking to do. And it's just some advice more than anything, like to myself as I'm kind of verbally journaling this out, but also to anyone else that's going through this phase in their business, that sacrificing your time to be able to get clients results, to be able to get customers results, isn't scalable in the long run, and it definitely doesn't fall in line with a plan to be able to eventually exit your company if you're looking to sell at any point. Just doesn't work. That's where my focus is right now. That's where a lot of our team is working with me, like day in, day out, trying to nail down these processes. I spent the day with Nick today. I spent the day with him last week and the week before that as well. Really trying to map all of this out and drag all of this information out of my head, because it's a challenge. It's not easy. And I've always said that I was going to be honest with you all with this journey, because I don't know everything and I'm learning a lot as I'm going through it. But growth is the thing throughout Q4. Q3 has been a quarter of like reflection and getting this right. Q4 is acceleration. I'm back from holiday, head down, front in, business development. I'm back public speaking. I'm on my stages. I'm out podcasting again. We've got lots of activity. Sam's the same. She's got loads and loads of talks and events coming up. Lots and lots of stuff going on. All of our events are back. It's amazing. I can't wait to meet people again and be visible at these things. There's a lot of work to do beforehand, and I'm not going to them unless this work is done. As much as I hate it, like there's parts of this stuff that you've just got to do, and focus is that word at the moment that I'm trying to drill into my skull, should I say, because there's things that I'd rather be doing, but I'm not going to do them, and it's 9 o'clock at night. I've had nightmares recording this video. If anybody knows why Macs suddenly start lagging when you plug a camera in, please let me know, because it's driving me absolutely insane. I'm not going to go on about that, because I can talk about that for probably half an hour about Macs and how tech is driving me nuts right now. Anyway, I'm going to finish this latest roadmap. I'll probably share little bits of this with you. If you go follow me on LinkedIn, there's loads of stuff that I'm sharing on there as well. I hope this stuff's been helpful. Do you know what? Like, if I feel like I've been rambling on, but in the comment, let me know if it's kind of been helpful, if it's interesting or not. I'll get the point eventually, but this is kind of for me as well, right? I want to look back at this stuff and see what I was talking about a year on from now, or 2 years. Looking back 2 years once I've been going on at this, for me, you can never create too much content, and I've always regretted not talking about this stuff more in the past. So every couple of weeks, maybe once a week, every now and again, I'll give you the update. If you find it interesting, please subscribe, hit that like button, let me know that you're watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.